You can tell this grow light has been used for a long time. I took this part off an old grow light, and you can see the rivets. I can find my finger. You see the rivets where it's attached. It goes the full length. It's on both sides. So that's a lot of light and a lot of reflection, and it covers my entire pot in their trays, and it shields it from the sun beating directly on my plants when they're young. This type of light has a metal hook, V-shaped, that holds it up if you had it in your garage. Both ends were held up by a piece of chain. What I did is took a big old dowel, put a finish nail in each end, and I just slide the finish nail in the chain. When I need to move it up, I can slide it out and move it up or down and put it in the length. This piece of material here is kept there to keep it from it slipping off and falling down on my plants. It broke last year, but I didn't have anything under it that would get broke. So I just put this rope on it and tied it to the top of my greenhouse. And I just looped the rope around it to raise or lower it. Now back to the tomatoes. They're up. They're starting to show a little bit of seed leaves. One of the things I want to remind you about is that I forgot in the first 3 videos on seed planting is even if your pots are new or they've been used the previous year, you need to rinse off all the soil off them, and then you need to wash them in hot soapy water. Or to prevent you, sometimes you won't get that also goes for the trays. Sometimes you won't get all the little places clean, and sometimes I just take a 10% bleach solution and I soak these pots in them for 15 or 20 minutes and rinse them off and dry them off. Then I mark them and I'm ready to go. There are pathogens that can live in soil in the crevices of these pots and trays, and they can attack your plants. Cleanliness is next to godliness when you're dealing with young, baby, infant plants. If you've ever had these tomatoes come up and it appears that the seed leaves cannot come out of the shell, do not ever try to cut that seed leaf off, because you will just ruin the plant, and it's really fragile where that leaf cluster joins the stem. And if you cut it, touch it in any way, it'll be deformed and it'll be useless. If you just spray the tops of these with water, it will soften the cover that the seed was in, the core was in, and eventually the leaves will come out. On some of these you can see that the seed cover is still in place, but the leaves have come out on their own. Right there is one. See how it looks like praying hands? It came out on its own. I've tried to cut it off with little scissors. I've tried to take and hold it with tweezers and cut it with a razor blade, and every time it either broke off or deformed the stem. These marigolds I saved from seeds. I put the same amount in that pot as I did that pot. That pot I bought. Remember I said I should plant probably twice as many, but I'm not going to do it just to show you what happens with saved seeds. If I'd put twice as many in there, it would be pretty close to that. That's my peppers. I still have hope that they'll come up because I planted these on the 13th. And right now it's the 27th. They should be showing signs of poking out the ground. And this is blackberry lily, and that's a very hard seed, and it will take a little longer to come up. Well, thanks for listening.